All right, well, we're back. Congrats to the Red Raiders. They made it past the round of 64. I was a little skeptical, but I figured they could do it. Akron is a good team. They play at a different conference than you, a lower conference, but you can't really think like that in March Madness. That's how you get caught, right? It's like Grant McCaslin said this after the game too. You can't plan for a game based on the number in front of someone's name in March Madness. It doesn't work like that. You know, but congrats to them. So they advanced to the round of 32. They get to play Bama, who's a seed above you at the 4 seed. March Madness is in full swing. Quite a couple upsets. The usual Gonzaga flop. A certain orange team is still in the mix despite not being very good all season. So I'm gonna suspect foul play. They paid the refs. Not really. I'm joking, but just to demonstrate how crazy this stuff can get. BYU, a team that people got really high on towards the end of the season, just sputtered out against that certain devilish team from the 512. So I think you got to win this game, right? Of course, you got to win this game. It's a playoff game. You don't want to lose. But based on who is making it so far in this tournament, I think it's imperative that Texas Tech advances as well. You've demonstrated that you can be good without JT Toppin, but you've also demonstrated that you can be popped in the mouth without him. You can also be put down really easily without him, I think. So this is a team, this Bama team, they're a lot bigger than Akron. Akron, tallest guy was only 6'9". That's not good. And the middle bunch of guys were a lot smaller than him. There's a gap between the smallest guys and the biggest guy. You This is a game where players like Lawan Watts, Luke Bamboye, and Josiah Mosley need to step up. Josiah Mosley had a good game on Friday. He did. Luke Bamboye, Lawan Watts didn't do terrible. I thought he did a lot of good things, but he fouled out. Um, he's he's a lot better on defense, but I think they caught him. Um, Playing guys a lot smaller than him, playing guys a little faster than him. I think he just got caught up. Offensively, though, he's got to step up. He gave up a lot of shots. He took a lot of shots that very questionable why you'd even take that shot. I'm all for taking wide open shots, but if you're wide open, not even in position, uh, get in position, man. Um, I know this guy can play good. This guy popped off against Duke. This guy played good against Houston, both times. So, you know, Luke Ramboye, him too, him especially. He's what, 7 foot? Come on, this guy. I know he can be good. I've seen it. I've seen the glimpses of it. I see the vision that Grant McCaslin had when he recruited him. This has to be this. If not now, then when? This guy has to step up this game. This has to be a legacy game for Luke Bamboye. I'm saying a lot. I don't actually mean, get your name out there in the banners. Um, but I'm trying to emphasize that this is a game you cannot afford to screw up in. This Bama team, historically, SEC Bama is not that great at basketball, but this team is the highest scoring team in the country on average, which means they can shoot and they can get in the paint. They will catch you off guard. Um, but the silver lining of this is they're also, from what I've read, one of the worst defensive teams in the country. Right, so a lot of these games that they win, even though they've been high scoring games, a lot of these games that they've been winning are just that, the high scoring games, down to the wire nail biters. Not all of them, but you know, um, they're not great on the other side of the court. Is what I put together. So I think that's where you need to catch them. They're bigger than you, but They're seemingly a lot worse than you, even without JT Toppin on defense. Um, this is a game I think I want to say I see a lot. I see the narrow way through. Making it to the Sweet 16. I mean, even making it to the round of 32 would kind of just like great, you know. Making it to the Sweet 16, gravy. All right, that'll be that. I will be satisfied with this season if they make it to the Sweet 16. Um, but yeah, you know those two guys. Yeah, I'm seeing improvement from one of them. But one of them is a little inconsistent. The other one, it's not quite where we expected him to be just yet. So you know, hopefully this is a game where it happens. You know, it's happening later today, 8:45. Kind of a late tip off for a Sunday, but March Madness. I don't know if it's just me. March Madness has been kind of happening at weird times. Like, that was my lunch break when they played on Friday. You know, that's that's never happened to me before. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into the stats, but Bama also only has one traditional big, I'd say. Um, they're also missing their second best player. He got into a little legal trouble. I'm a little iffy on like how it happened, when it happened, where it happened. It reads almost like conspiracy. You know, it's kind of funny the timing of all of it, but you know they're gonna be without that guy. Um, you know, I think somebody like what's his name, Jalen Petty. Jalen Petty, a great game Friday. Got to do it again. I think that starting lineup you had worked. Yeah, I think it worked, and he got into a rhythm. Unfortunately, right about when LeBron Watts fouled out. And I think he did a good job of carrying that rhythm over. Um, but yeah, I think you're gonna have it's gonna be one of the best guard on guard games all season probably. You can't get into foul trouble here, right? I think it'll be a close game, depending on depending on how that defense side goes. But I think it'll be a close game, and you know, uh, Texas Tech just has to stick to their guns. You know, you can't get into foul trouble. You can't give up. You know, that's a thing I've seen some players. They get the ball, they don't get an open look, or it takes a little too long, and they kind of just give up on a play and they pass it off, and it's kind of like, oh man, we got to do better than that, man. We got to that can't be happening. Um, so yeah, I think you got the, I think you can win this one. I think you can. There's even an option where you win it pretty handedly, you know. But we'll have to see. 8:45 Central Time. Here today on March 22nd. I think you can do it. I have hope. So everybody's who's watching this, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want. We'll be back after the game, maybe tomorrow. And yeah, you know, wreck 'em.